Welcome to Pour the Wine. It's Rom-Com Time, where we'll sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. I'm Amy.
And I'm Garry.
And
I'm pouring.
You're pouring. What a day we've had, huh?
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's been a long day.
If you only knew.
If you only knew. We're unapologetically protecting our peace.
Yes, we are.
That's what we're starting with.
That's a good way of putting that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Unapologetically protecting our peace by doing something that we love, this podcast.
That's correct.
That is correct. We had a day, and so we're going to dive in today to our podcast because it
gives us peace.
It gives us peace and a little bit of fun, a little bit of banter, a little bit. So today we're going to be recapping and reviewing the 4th episode of season 2 of The Chicken Sisters, Let Your Hair Down, Y'all. It aired on the Hallmark Channel on Sunday, August 31st, 2025, and is streaming right now on Hallmark Plus. So
yes,
it's the last day of August.
Is. We would love it if you would click that follow button on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss an episode. If you listen on Apple or Spotify, you can also leave us a review.
You sure can.
Hopefully, it's a positive review.
Hopefully.
You can also find us on YouTube and all social media.
Hey.
Yes.
You can even send us an email.
That's correct.
Say what? You said yes.
What?
All right, let's take 2. No, you can send us an email at pourthewine@romcomtime @gmail.com.
Yes, you can.
Let us know your thoughts about the current season of The Chicken Sisters. Maybe you watched the first season also. How does it compare for you between the first and second seasons? Or you can let us know anything Hallmarky related if you'd like.
Because we're here for it.
We'd like to hear from you.
Yep.
So shoot us an email and we'll send it back or maybe read it on the pod one of these days.
Just sent it.
Just sent it. Just sent it?
Just send it. Sent. You sent mail.
What are you doing? You got mail. Okay.
So tell us who's in this one.
All right. So we do talk extensively about the main cast, right, of characters in episode 1 of season 2. And I think in episode 2, we mentioned David James Elliott.
Yes, we did.
Didn't we? Okay. Or maybe that was 1. I can't remember which one. But anywho, so we're adding actors or actresses along the way who pop up in episodes. And in this particular episode number 4, Rhiannon Fish.
Yay.
Yeah, she came on. It was kind of cool to see her again,
yes, it was.
Right? She plays Nikita, Sergio's ex. She comes to town. Dun, dun, dun. For Hallmark, she was just in A Machu Picchu Proposal.
Yep.
She's been in 3 of the Signed, Sealed, Delivered movies. She was in The Vows We Made, A Tale of 3 Letters, and To the Moon and Back.
Yep.
She was in the movie Polar Opposites, A Costa Rican Wedding, My Norwegian Holiday, When Love Springs, The 27-Hour Day, and You're Baking Me Crazy.
Baking Me Crazy.
Some of her other work includes He Loves Me Not, Sweet as Pie, and she was in an Australian soap opera, Home and Away, for 325 episodes.
Ooh,
that's a lot.
That is a lot.
She must be Australian.
Yeah.
Okay. I think she.
In this episode, directed by Norman Buckley and written by Jessica Wood.
Sounds good.
How do you like that?
I like that a lot.
Me too. So, you want to dig into this?
You want to drop the synopsis first?
Oh, you know what? I did it again.
It's been a day, huh?
Let's drop the synopsis.
Maybe you should take a sip.
I'm going to.
While I drop the synopsis.
Yes, do it.
It's May's bachelorette party, and Amanda commits to giving her notoriously over-planning sister a night full of carefree fun and making memories.
Yes.
Yes.
And what memories they made.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. All right. Put the wine down.
All right. So let's dive into this.
We'll probably give away some spoilers.
I forgot that part too. Excuse me. Yes, we are going to give away some spoilers.
Yes.
Probably.
You are off your game. Like we said, it's been a day.
So if you have not watched the episode, please go and watch it. Come back, listen to ours, and let us know what you think.
Yep. We're doing a recap and a review, which means we talk about the whole
thing.
Episode, right? 40 some minutes?
Yes.
All right. So what'd you think of this one? Briefly before we dive in, I guess, to the details.
I liked it.
Okay.
I didn't love it.
Okay.
They had some funny parts. That's some not so funny parts.
Well, some more serious parts, you mean.
Right.
Not.
And, I love the message. I feel like Nancy found her place. I feel like May is finding her way.
Okay.
I feel
May is
like-
finding her way. May's
Yes.
way. Okay.
May way. Sergio, he's stepping up. I just love the whole scene.
You love the whole scene.
I love the whole
you
movie.
said you
I meant.
liked it. It's an episode, the movie.
Oh my God. Can we start this podcast over again? No. I'd love to.
Are you here? What's happening
I liked
right
the
now?
episode. It was close to loving it. But
Oh,
hey,
okay. That's what
there
you meant.
go.
You said, I love the movie. I'm like,
no,
not
I'm
movie.
all
We're talking
messed
about a
up
movie.
today. What about you? What did you think?
I felt the same way. I really liked it. I think I liked it a little more than the last episode. Although the last
okay.
episode was good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was pretty good. It wasn't like it was awful or anything.
Right.
And then, I feel like this episode sort of stepped it up a little bit more because we do see more between, Amanda and May and their relationship. And we see that deepening. Like you mentioned, we have the Sergio of it all.
Right.
And we have his ex showing up on the scene, And then, of course, Gus and Nancy, we did see some things there with Gus and Clayton. So I thought this was a pretty good episode.
Okay.
I feel like what's missing are the quick clips from quips from the narrator. I don't feel like we're getting narration.
Right.
And I still love that, but I don't feel like it's quite as witty as it was the first season. So, and we didn't really talk about the writers and the directors and all that. So, maybe, and I think the writer for this episode, she was like an executive editor for all of last season, I think.
Right. Yeah.
So she was involved also, but I just, so I'm not sure. I think that part is sort of missing for me a little bit.
Okay.
And Shauna was in this one and she's always good when she shows up.
Yeah.
I just want more of her every episode because I think she really kind of sprinkles in that
the comedy,
the sarcasm, wit. The wit sometimes.
Yeah, I
So,
agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I thought it was pretty good.
Okay. All right.
Pretty
I'm
good.
glad we got that straightened out.
Okay.
So, who do you want to hit on
Who do you want to
first?
start first? So it starts off with, I guess we should talk about how it starts, right? Like nothing says love like homemade preserves, strawberry preserves, right? So you kind of see May through the years making the preserves. And then, I liked that we saw her clocking in
Right.
at her own place, which I thought was kind of wild, but I was like, okay, if you're going to clock in for work and clock out and everything. And, I figured that would come back around and it does later. And then May actually ends up burning the present day preserves, even though she's worked on them for like her whole life and she has the recipe tried and true. So that's kind of where we start. So we know this is sort of going to be about May, right? A little bit about May. So, all right. So who do you want to start with? You want to
Well,
start
we
with?
also, when May goes to dump the burnt preserves, the little chicken symbols.
Oh, yes.
is tied
it was so
into
cute
her
this
apron.
time.
They use the ties of the apron to make
Yeah,
the
I
chicken.
thought that was so cute.
Yeah, that was cute.
I don't know if we mentioned it in every episode. We just love it when we see the chicken and what they do, where they put it, how it relates to the scene. I loved the placement of that one. I thought that was really cute.
Very good.
Yes.
It was very good. So let's tackle, who do you want to tackle? Gus first?
Let's go with Gus. Okay. So I guess in this episode, we see her struggling with a railroad crossing arm and she can't really lift it because of her MS and she's a little bit weaker. Right. And so she tells Nancy that she couldn't do it, and I like that Nancy just gets angry on her behalf and, and she feels badly because she's like, no one should have to lift that thing, and she's like, and you could just really tell that her and Nancy's relationship
it's growing stronger.
It's growing. Right. And then we see Gus clock into her own restaurant.
Yes.
In present day, which again, I'm like, it's Mimi's, but I guess they're doing a majority of it at Franny's, right? Franny's is really the Chicken Sisters.
Right.
Where they're doing all the things, but she still has
her business or her
Mimi's
building.
Mimi's.
Right.
So, so that's kind of where we start with her. And then Jay shows up.
Yes. Poor Jay.
Poor Jay.
Yeah,
well,
Jay.
she gives him a little hard time at first. He shows up at the restaurant at Mimi's.
Yeah, and he wants to know, he knows the present day May, and he asks Gus.
Present day May.
Present day May. And he wants to know the before May.
Right.
And I thought the way Gus presented this was brilliant.
Yes. This was excellent storytelling.
And this is what I loved about this one, and another scene we'll talk about later is what I loved about this particular episode. The fact that she used time cards to explain May.
Well, I liked how, and it's great because she comes out and she's like, these were saved from the fire, and I couldn't really tell what they were. It didn't even dawn on me that it was going to be time cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Jay is sort of like, what are you cards? Like, why would this tell me about May? Like, he has no, and even I was like, what?
Right.
So then she opens up one, right? And she's like, for example, this is a Christmas Day one. We stayed open for the people who didn't. May wanted us to stay open
for the people that didn't have anywhere
to go. And then she talks about that particular story, and she says that was one of her favorite Christmases. So then you realize the time cards are sort of like stamps of time on, Gus's heart.
Right.
For things, because May was always at work. She was always on time. She was always regimented.
And it's so fascinating that they're like pictures in time.
Yes.
Only it's time cards in time.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know that I could remember.
There's no, unless she wrote on there, I don't remember seeing anything written on them.
Yeah.
But for her to be able to pick those out and tell a story behind that particular day was just brilliant to the writers.
And doesn't she say something like May has a heart of gold? Like she, she's sort of fiery and she's got that OCD organization, but she has a heart of gold.
Yeah.
And that's when she kind of talked about the Christmas time. So yeah, I thought that was such a cool way to tell that story and so appropriate for the characters, right? For both Gus and for May.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because she, because it did describe May. And then she tells the story and then he's like, well, what about this one? Or what about this? I just thought it was cool. I thought it was really
really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
And then she does tell the story about how she had gotten the flu.
Right.
And she couldn't, she was going to have to close the store. Like he picked out one and she said, oh, that's May's prom night.
Right.
And they were open. May wanted to be open because they didn't have a lot of money. And so May skipped prom and acted like she didn't want to go, even though she really did. Mm-hmm. But she stayed to help.
And she had saved over a year to get the dress.
To get her dress, yeah.
And she knew that the store was short. So she stayed open for her mom.
And Gus, you can see Gus kind of knows that. And that's it's sort of a bittersweet memory,
right?
That one, because Gus knows what May did, what sacrifices May made as a child for Gus and for the family,
right? And then there was another time card.
There's another
when I think it was her last time card. Is the way Gus discussed it, and it was the last time she worked there. Before going to New York.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, look at the look on Gus's face.
I know. You could tell she was sad. I mean, I'm glad they softened her a little bit. Like you really get to see the softer side. Mm-hmm. Although the gruff side was fun to watch in season 1, but you really see her softer side come out during this.
It comes out every once in a while in the episodes. Yeah.
So do you want to save the last part of that? Last part about Gus?
Yeah.
So they had that whole time card. So that was pretty cool throughout the whole episode, right? They kept going back to it. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So I think Jay got a pretty good understanding of how May was growing up.
Yep, and the sacrifices she made
for her mom and her family. Yep.
Even though she said she never wanted to go back there. She didn't want anyone to meet her parents. You see how much she loved and did for them while she was growing up.
Yep. So what do you want to tackle next? How about let's do Frank Jr. I love Frank.
You want to go to Frank Jr.?
Yeah, let's do Frank.
Okay, let's do Frank
Jr. So funny.
Oh, gosh.
So he tries to pitch to Mr. Chicken again. Yep. With Jeffro.
Christian, yep.
Jeffro sitting there, and he goes through his spiel again, and what does Mr. Chicken do? Nope, we're not about that. We're about the franchise. We're about making the money, this and that. And, of course, Frank is like, okay.
Well, he wants to use his original recipe.
Yeah, his original recipe. Quotes.
Because they really love the chicken that he made. And I thought it was interesting that Christian says sameness makes money. And I was like, I've never really thought about that.
Right.
Like, when you think about the restaurants that have been around forever and, like McDonald's has had the cheeseburger and everybody loves McDonald's fries. And I mean, I know they've changed over, just recipe wise, maybe a little bit, but they're kind of known for certain things. And I thought, and when you change it up or make something healthier, it's more expensive. So that's why Christian didn't want to, Mr. Chicken didn't want to do that, because he's like, we're regiment. We have the same things. That's what we serve. That's what we mass produce.
Yep.
And it's cheaper.
Yeah, it is.
Right. So I thought, well, I've just never really thought about that.
And that comes up later on about the same.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh, I might have missed that. Okay.
Well,
That's cool.
I'll tell
All
you.
right, cool.
Just remind me. And I thought it was pretty interesting because Jethro later on says to Frank
Jr.
how impressed he was with the way he presented himself to Mr. Chicken.
Yeah.
And that he's never even seen that on a soap opera.
That was funny. He goes, and I watch soap operas or something like that. Yeah, it was funny. Well, he saw a lot of passion in him. And we saw in the first season where Frank Jr. couldn't deliver a presentation.
Right.
Like he had a hard time in the boardroom, and that really wasn't his thing. But this is something he's passionate about. And then he does the math and shows Mr. Chicken that it would only be like 2 cents more.
On a napkin.
On a napkin. He shows him that it would cost overall, 2 cents more per piece of chicken? I don't know, whatever.
Right. And that's with the sauces.
Right.
So Mr. Chicken was happy about it, and he takes a napkin and he leaves. And here's where the saying comes in, because that's when the narrator says, we discovered that it's Mimi's and Franny's chicken recipe. And that's the same.
Oh,
same recipe.
Okay. Yeah.
Same makes money.
He's using the same.
Yes,
well, that's true too. I didn't think about that.
recipe.
You're right.
So there you have it.
So then you find out that he's actually, kind of a scoundrel. He didn't make up his own recipe. He is using what he knows is the recipe.
The Chicken Sisters recipe.
The Chicken Sisters recipe.
Yep. Sure did.
So he's still a shyster.
Which puts another check mark in that. I do not like you, man. As the character.
Yeah.
As the actor, I love you because you're doing a great job.
You're making us hate you. No, we don't hate you, but
yeah,
not our favorite. That's for sure. Yeah, that was pretty much his storyline.
Yeah.
Throughout it, I guess.
Throughout the episode.
Yeah. So you want to go to Nancy?
Yeah, let's go to Nancy.
Or you want to go to Amanda?
Let's do Nancy.
All right. Nancy still trying to get these signatures to get the railroad arm fixed.
Yeah. Which is her mission.
Her mission. She is on a mission to get
and I love it.
Yeah. And I like it when she's working at the restaurant and she kind of goes up to the table where Big Tim and Magnolia are, and she's like, hey, do you want to sign this? And what does Big Tim say? Well, no, I can't put my signature on something until I've done all the research about it or whatever, And I'm thinking, in a small town, would you really doubt somebody that you knew and grew up with and who owned that restaurant, but I get it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then of course his wife won't sign it because he won't sign it. Yeah. Magnolia won't sign it. So sort of a domino effect.
Yeah,
she's kind of like discouraged a little bit. Right. And that's where they say, you catch more flies with honey, but her requests weren't sticky enough because she's trying to be nice.
Funny.
Yeah. No, that one was a funny narration line.
How many times did you use that line? You attract more flies with honey.
Yeah. We talk about that a lot, don't we?
And I find it interesting, Shauna giving a pep talk to Nancy when Nancy comes up to Amanda and Shauna, and she's like, or Shauna's like, Miss Nancy, what's wrong? And then she said, I told you not to Google the internet because the internet is a scary place. And Nancy said, yeah, I learned my lesson with the intermittent rash.
Yeah, she said something about a rash. That was funny. That was kind of funny.
That was hilarious. And then you get Amanda giving Nancy a pep talk saying, hey, here's what you need to do. Go out there and do it.
And Shauna too. Shauna's like, you don't ask, you tell.
And then
I was like, well, that's
what
true.
Does Nancy do?
She stands up on the counter, on a bar stool or something, on a seat. And she's like, hey.
Everybody's stops eating and looks up like, what?
She has to clap or whatever. And she's like, we're all tired of that railroad arm. And she points him out, right? Like, Patrick, you just complained about it. You said you had to hold it up for all those cars to go through. And she goes to different people, right? And then she's like, well, stop complaining about it. You can do something about it, you know? And then she's like, sign this. So it was cool. She's finding her voice.
Yes.
She's using it for something good. And I think that's a great arc for her character too.
Yeah.
Really,
it was.
for
I
Nancy,
think at that point.
Coming into her own.
And then, of course, she tells the pastor,
yeah,
you know, I got 300.
They're like having dinner or something later, right?
And she tells him that she's all excited.
Yeah,
I got
she's
300
so
and then some. And
signatures.
Yeah. And she's walking back to the kitchen and you can hear him say something like, well, that's great, but it's a shame you're going to miss the labor of your fruit.
Right. The fruits of your labor.
Or your fruits of your
the labor of your fruit. The fruits of your labor.
And then you can see when Nancy's like, yeah, this man's not going to hold me down.
She's like, see that look. Too bad. Because she's not going to go on the trip with him.
Yeah, you can just see it.
I mean, you know, he's kind of excited about going on that trip, but he just sort of keeps stepping in it.
Man,
you know,
well, you know what? We're going to find out what kind of man he really is.
Yeah. I think he's going to be a nice guy.
I hope so.
I think she just isn't going to want to go because she's finally coming into her own. She has her own business there. Mm-hmm. She's doing this for the town. I mean, she might run for mayor next season. I don't know, know, or something. So it's going to be interesting to see what they end up doing with her character too. And of course, this is the halfway point of the season. So from here on out, we're downward slope.
Yeah, we're going to find out a whole bunch of things. So then let's talk about the new character that shows up.
Ooh, the new character.
Yes.
So should we do her with Sergio?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Well, because first she shows up at Franny's and she's eating the chicken. No one knows who she is. And then after she's finished, Amanda is like, so how'd you like the chicken? And she was like, oh, it was great. But those hush puppies were awesome.
Were the bomb.
And Amanda doesn't know who this is. And she said, I'd like to compliment the chef. So Amanda, of course, takes her to the back of the kitchen. And who is there? Sergio. And this was a pretty good scene because you find out that that's Sergio's ex. And Shauna, she kind of laughs. And she just goes into excited. Her little thing. It's almost like the stars have aligned.
Well, and you can see Sergio's surprised, but not necessarily in a good way.
Right.
So we have found out now who was sending those text messages to him.
Yep.
Right.
Now we do.
And then she's kind of like, I thought you'd be more surprised. You'd be happier, to see me. And he's kind of like, But that's when I think what you were referencing is Shauna says, it's like Haley's comment of gossip. It only comes once in a lifetime. She shows up. So that was pretty funny. Yeah. Like that.
So good.
So his ex's name is Nikita.
Mm-hmm.
And so she is there she has gotten her own restaurant now. They work together, I think, in a restaurant.
She was a bartender and he was the chef.
Right. Yeah. So now she's opening her own restaurant in Chicago where she lives, and she wants him to come and be the head chef.
Right.
So she has come there to ask him to come back home or wherever and be the head chef.
Right. And so fast forward, Sergio's in the end. He's looking at his old drawings of the restaurant that they were going to open together, and actually a sketch of Nikita. And Nikita comes in and she wants to know, are you going to take the job?
Are you in? And you kind of think maybe he's thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
Because he's contemplating it. He's looking at old pictures, and then he asks her, well, what about Hugo? Now we presume that's the man that she cheated on him with, right? Or left him for, or whatever. And she's like, I'm done with him in the restaurant business and personally, or whatever, right? To try to get Sergio. That was sort of like to try to convince him.
And that was, I'm glad Sergio did what he did.
Right. Well, they go outside, they go for a walk, and he tells her he's saying no to all of it.
Yeah.
He doesn't want that life anymore. He doesn't want to go back. And she's surprised. And then she springs a kiss on him out in the street, which we'll come back to a little bit later when we talk about something else. But yeah, I thought that was good. So
So, do you want to talk about the what did she call it? Sophisticate,
sophisticate. What they call it?
Bachelorette.
Sophisticate.
It wasn't Kate. It was the last.
Sophisticate.
Yes, there
That's
you
what
go.
it is.
Thank you.
We would get there eventually.
And I thought that was such a funny name.
I tried to write it the way it sounded, but
I know.
I didn't do
So did I, and I did a bad job.
I'm glad you said bachelorette.
Yes.
So they were so we're getting to May.
Yeah,
we got to say we're talking.
Let's get to that. I was going to say that, but I just couldn't get the word out that she used.
Oh my gosh! So now we're at May, and she is having her bachelorette party, and like we just said, she's calling it a sophisticate. It's a sophisticated bachelorette party instead of a trashy bachelorette party. And who's there? Amanda, Sabrina, Shauna, and then who are the other two? Mary Pat is one of them, and I can't think of the other one's name.
Think of her
they
name
said
either.
it. So there's only like a handful of them, and they go to May's, and she has planned this extravagant 7-course meal, and
it's going
to go through, and it's going to coincide with her relationships throughout the years. Or was it a relationship with Jay? I wasn't sure. I think her relationships, like the evolution of her relationships, and she was pairing it with wine, right? So she has planned this out because she's OCD. She's a planner. She does all this stuff. She has decided that is what she's going to do.
Yeah.
Right. And it bombs terribly. Because they all start drinking different wines. She almost can't handle it. And if you're OCD, you understand that you can't just, change up a plan.
Right.
And go off the rails. And so, and it's kind of mildly freaking her out, but she's trying to go through the motions. And then she steps out of the room, and the girls are like, God, this is boring. Right. This is.
Yeah. And they talk about the one girl who swishes the wine in her mouth, and she goes, I taste grape. It's like, duh. No other fruit, just grape.
I know. And they're all, and Amanda's trying to defend her. She's like, look, she's, she is the way she is. She likes to plan. This is her way of, doing it. And then she kind of is like, and then you find out May is listening.
Right.
And it hurts her feelings, of course.
And she kicks everybody out.
She kicks everyone out.
And it's funny because Sabrina's sitting there and she's like, me too? And she's like, she didn't say anything. She just looked at her and she goes, but I'm staying here.
Stay here.
She goes, okay, I'll just go for a long walk.
She said, bye.
But I thought it was cute because they all walk outside and they're talking about, well, it's too early. Let's go have fun. And Amanda steps up and says, no, this is my sister's bachelorette party and we're going to give it to her.
We're going to give it to her.
And I thought that was so awesome.
Yeah. And Amanda's like, I should have planned it. I shouldn't have let her do it. I should have stepped in, but you know how she is. Yep. So
then they pick the lock to come back in, and they shoot the little air horn. It scares the heck out of May.
I did think that was kind of funny because she has the refrigerator open and you don't hear them at all. And then she closes it and they're all standing behind the refrigerator. And she's like, but the door was locked. And the one who we can't think of her name, she's like, I picked it. And she had like a hairpin or something in her hair. That was really funny. So they proceed to take her out and give her a proper bachelorette party where Amanda has made a bingo card and they all have to split up and go do different things
in different places
and take pictures. And so it's kind of cute. It gets her out. She has some fun. Which we'll talk about. I know she says a little bit later, but So they.
But I loved all the Polaroid pictures.
May Moore's bachelorette bingo. Yeah, the Polaroid pictures were great.
Yeah,
those were a great touch because that's so popular right now.
Yeah, it is.
Like I know we've gotten our girls like the Polaroids.
They
who
love
knew
them.
Those would come back?
I know.
Like everybody was like, "Oh, that camera needs to go away," and then here it is back, and it's cool and it's cute
more expensive.
and works. Oh my gosh, yeah, we were shocked when we saw one. I'm like, I remember buying one back in the day, and it was not that much, but good for Polaroid, right, for coming back, making a comeback. But yeah, so they have this really great party for her, and you can see she's having a good time, and then of course Amanda is going to take a picture of May. Doing a cartwheel outside. Yeah. And then May does the cartwheel, and when she snaps the picture, that's when she sees Sergio, and Nikita has leaned in to kiss him.
Right.
And so Amanda's like, her heart is sunken a little bit. Right,
Yes.
right. Because she still has feelings for him, and she thought they were kind of being flirtatious, and they were. And that kind of, the ex is back kind of thing that
Right.
she knows, as far as she knows.
Right. And then you have Sabrina and I think it the other girl, the blonde hair girl, they win the actual bingo.
Mary Pat.
Yeah, they win the bingo
they
contest.
Win the bingo, yeah.
And the look on May's face, you think, oh, she's about to get upset.
Right.
And Sabrina's like, oh, you can just have our win. And she's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I can't remember exactly what she says, but it was something to
She says, I don't care about winning because I had fun.
I know. And the way she said fun was like she had never said the word before.
Right. Because she just let loose and was carefree, which Sabrina had said earlier, those people are carefree and let loose.
Right.
That's not May.
That's not May. Yep.
But she's like, I actually had fun just being and existing.
And that made Amanda happy too.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it was.
And Mary Pat. And so then they all start to disperse, right, and go home. And Mary Pat's like, I got to go. I better get my donkey gets tired. And Shauna's like, okay.
Because it's so funny because at the beginning they were all like, it's early, let's go party.
Let's go party, whoop it up.
And then when the sun is about to go down, they're all like, okay, it's time to go to bed. Let's go. Let's split up. Let's go home. I just thought that was really fun.
It was pretty cool. I mean, I guess we didn't really focus so much on Amanda, but we just talked a lot about her in that bachelorette party.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't talk about when at the very beginning when Shauna asks Amanda, when are we going to meet May's dad, or something about May's dad, and she's like, I heard he has a metal credit card,
right? The kind you can't shred.
Yeah. And then Amanda's like, did you get his driver's license too? And she said, he's an organ donor. It's just she's so quick-witted, which is really funny.
And she was like, I heard it from Pearl, who heard it from a friend, who heard it from a friend,
who heard it from.
It was so good.
It was really good. It's really good. So, and then, you get towards the end, of course, and you have, May and Amanda kind of have this moment where Amanda tells May that, she realizes that she gave up a lot and protected Amanda from a lot of the bad stuff from when they were growing up. And she's, basically thanking her for it. And, she says she's glad she got to give her a night of fun for once because she did all that stuff when they were growing up and all the sacrifices. And then I thought it was cool when Amanda said she always had two parents. She's like, how I didn't need to know my daddy. I don't care about knowing my daddy because I always had two parents, you and mom, So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I kind of cheered up on that one.
Yeah, May's kind of understanding now that, her sacrifices were not for naught, right? When she was younger, and the town she was running away from really has value, and the people in it and all that jazz. So, and her family.
And May asked Amanda to stay there until she falls asleep.
Yeah. And I thought it was when May said that she has a feeling of constant terror at all times. And that's because of what she went through when she was young.
Right.
And Amanda tries to tell her, you don't have to worry about that anymore. Like, let other people take care of you. Let me help you sometimes,
And that.
So, yeah, I thought that was really cool.
And that was kind of the episode coming full circle.
Yeah.
With that.
And then you see Sergio deletes his ex as a contact.
Yes.
Right? And then Amanda sends him a text message after he deletes his ex as a contact. Or does she send it? We don't know.
She didn't hit the send button.
Amanda composes this text message and basically says, I saw you guys kissing.
I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it. You guys are great. You're a good cut, whatever.
Right.
I can't get in the way of that. I couldn't compete. And so we don't know if she sends it, but now he has deleted his exit because he knows he wants to stay and be with her. And now she thinks he's with someone else. So it's a little bit of a love triangle again.
I really thought she was going to delete Sergio's number.
I know.
And I'm thinking, well, he's the chef. So
I know.
And she gave him the nickname because she said, I went home after the restaurant and all I thought about was you giving you a nickname. And she called him Biscuit.
Why'd she call him Biscuit?
Because he's always getting out of jams. I thought that was so thoughtful.
That was so thoughtful. Yeah, that was really cool.
And then, that's when but let's go back to May and Amanda. Amanda calls May Booger, and then or May calls Amanda Booger, and Amanda calls May Little Sis.
Yeah, or no.
It was something like that. That was her nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Mama or something.
She was Little Mama.
Little Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't Little Sis. It was
I knew it
Little
was something
Mama.
like that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cute.
Yeah, that was cute. And then you have the very end.
Yes.
Right. I think it was the very end with Gus.
Gus and Clayton.
She's cleaning up.
Mm-hmm.
She's cleaning up, right, her store. And then Clayton walks in and Gus is listening to the radio and their song happened to be on the radio.
Right. And Clayton brings it up. She goes, well, I'm just listening to some music. And he goes, well, it just happens to be our song. And she's like, it's not our song.
I know.
It's my
She tries
song.
to resist it every turn. And he's just smirking and walking towards her. And then she finally gives in and dances
And she
with
talks
him.
about she didn't get her prom either.
Yeah. In that moment or with Jay?
No, she didn't get her prom because she was pregnant and he had left. And so it was kind of like, okay, so there's that story between them.
And they get the dance. Oh, yeah. She did say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now she got her
Because he said we
dance.
missed prom.
Yeah.
And she said we missed a lot of things. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they kind of do this collage of Jay gets in bed with May, Nancy lifts the train arm, Gus and Clayton
At the
dance.
very end. Yeah.
And Sergio, he deletes Nikita's
The text.
contact.
Oh, I jumped the gun, didn't I?
No,
With
no,
Amanda
that's all
and
right.
her text.
Yeah.
Is that when they show Amanda and her text, I guess?
Yes.
I don't, yeah.
I think so.
All right.
But that's okay. And then the narrator says, there is nothing sadder than a biscuit without jam.
Oh, poor Sergio. I guess I shouldn't say poor Sergio because, they kind of, well, she was still married, but
Yeah, it was sad.
Oh, biscuit without the jam.
Yeah, that's me and you.
Well, we're going to see what happens. That's me and you?
Yeah.
Biscuit without the jam?
No, we're biscuit with the jam.
Oh, okay. I thought you I said without the jam. You said, no, that's us. What?
So out of 5 drumsticks, what are you going to get this one?
I'll give it a solid 4.
No, I'm going to go with a 3.5 or 3 3/4 again.
Again. So it's equal to the last one.
It's equal to the last one.
Okay.
We did get a lot of information. There was more of Shauna. Maybe I should give it a 4 because there was more Shauna. I love Shauna.
Well, you can change it. I mean, there's no.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Maybe I'll boost it up to a 4 because I really
You
do
think it's
like,
slightly better than the last one?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it had more comedy in it. And
I enjoyed it.
So so that's what I get.
So we'll see what we're going to get on the downward slope of the season.
Yes, we are.
I really don't know what direction it's going to go. Although I think Nancy's staying.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to go.
She's not going to go. I don't think so.
Amanda and Sergio may have this back and forth for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going to happen with Frank Jr.
Yeah.
We're going to have the wedding. I don't know if that's going to be the 8th episode. I'm not sure where the wedding, but we're close. We have the bachelorette party. So
yeah, we're right there.
I don't know. We'll see.
And will we meet Amanda's dad?
I don't know.
Since she mentioned
Amanda's
him.
Diddy. Yeah. I don't know.
All right. So is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
All right. If you really, really like the show, we would really, really appreciate your positive review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. And if you didn't really, really like the show, we'd still appreciate your positive review.
We would. We'd really appreciate it. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts and on social media so you don't miss a thing. Until next time, cheers.